What's up, everybody? This is Cody, aka DFS Prodigy, coming to you live to talk about the NBA slate for September 9th on Overlay DFS. I wanted to do this quick video basically before I head into the gym. So, this table is a little tricky to me. It's going to be kind of difficult to pick who I like, so I'm probably going to play light today. But there is some key matchups too that I like usual. So let's go over the slate. So let's start at the bottom. Semi Ojeleye versus Terrence Davis. Ojeleye is not a good DFS player or point per minute player whatsoever. Whenever he gets on the court, he just is not produced. I'm liking Terrence Davis in this matchup easily. Mason Plumlee versus Grant Williams. So, again, this Celtics rotation's all sorts over the place. I'm liking Williams, though, over Plumlee because Plumlee's only going to play in garbage time. So give me Williams, even though the minutes are kind of scattered. But that's going to be one of my alternates. Shamet versus Jackson. Give me Landry Shamet because at least he's getting guaranteed minutes, unlike Reggie Jackson, who doesn't even know if he's going to see the floor or not. JaMychal Green versus Wanamaker. So this is one of the difficult ones for me to pick because, again, Wanamaker's kind of similar to Grant Williams. But JaMychal Green has been getting minutes and could close out the game. Doc Rivers' rotation is so all over the place that it's so tricky to figure out. So that's sort of, I want to say Green, but I can see Wanamaker winning this one, so that's going to be an alternate too. I'm kind of liking that as an alternate. Monty Morris versus Pat Bev. Okay, so again, this is another tricky one, but that's why we do these videos. So I'm leaning towards Monty Morris. So I think the public's going to pick Pat Bev. Pat Bev's going to be a lock all over the place, basically, on FanDuel and DraftKings because of the salary. But on Overlay, I'm going to do Monty Morris also because I want that as a pivot. Meaning, I can see the public getting Pat Bev, and I want to be above the public, obviously, and get that 12-0 record. So I want Monty Morris. Gasol versus Williams. Give me Marc Gasol because Ibaka is injured and in a walking boot, so I don't see him playing at all today. Give me Marc Gasol on a usage bump game. Norm Powell over Gary Harris is another usage bump to me because, again, Ibaka's going to be out. Powell could start and see more minutes. Give me Norman Powell, who is way more productive in this matchup than Gary Harris. So Zubac versus Harrell. This is always a tough one to me. I've been getting burned by Zubac a lot, but I have to take my chances again with Zubac because the minutes. Harrell only plays in garbage time, and Zubac didn't foul out. He would have got the over. So give me Zubac once again. Millsap versus Marcus Morris. So I'm leaning towards Marcus Morris because of Millsap has been inconsistent lately. Even though he is getting minutes, Marcus Morris can get hot behind the three and get hot in the paint. Give me Marcus Morris, but that's not one of my favorites at all. That may be another alternate of mine. So let's go to Michael Porter Jr. versus Grant. Sorry, excuse me, guys. Give me Michael Porter Jr. So the reasoning behind that one is if Porter can play above 20 minutes, he's on fire. Grant is just not productive at all in the minutes he gets. So give me Michael Porter Jr. who can get hot. Lou Will versus OG. That's another tough one to me. We'll come back to that one. Ibaka versus Tice. This matchup will be canceled out if Ibaka does not start. If he doesn't play. But if Ibaka is on a minutes restriction and he possibly does play, he's not going to play barely any minutes. So give me Tice as a lock. If Ibaka plays, if Ibaka does not play, which I'm 90% sure he does not play, give me nobody because that matchup will cancel out. Kimba versus Van Fleet. Give me Van Fleet, who has been more productive, but I could see Walker getting the head-to-head matchup. But here's the deal. So there is another matchup between Van Fleet and Jaylen Brown. I like the Van Fleet one over Jaylen Brown much easier. So that matchup cancels out and goes all the way at the bottom. So give me Van Fleet over Jaylen Brown. So again, this matchup is now canceled out between Jaylen Brown and Kemba Walker, so we already got a matchup between them. Okay, so another one with double players. So you have Paul George versus Tatum, Paul George versus Murray. So this is a difficult one to me also. I'm slightly leaning towards the Paul George over Jamal Murray. I can see that one a lot better than Paul George over Jason Tatum, because Tatum can get hot and he's consistent and has a high ceiling. Give me Paul George, because Murray's not been as productive in this series as beforehand in the Jazz series. So see, that matchup cancels out too. So we have Nikola Jokic versus Kawhi Leonard. Give me Jokic all day, every day. So that leaves us with these matchups on the bottom. Again, this one cancels out, that one canceled out, that one canceled out, and that one canceled out. So this one will cancel out if Ibaka is hurt. So let's go back to the other one between Lou Will versus OG. Lou Will has been so inconsistent with his minutes because of Doc Rivers, even though he's been playing pretty decent. OG's out there for his defense and could possibly see Uchic's bump if Ibaka's out, but if Powell plays, that takes shots away from OG. So give me Lou Will in that matchup. So I will have an article today with the link in the description for my article. I will post the link on Twitter and Instagram, so be on the lookout for that. And that pretty much wraps this overlay DFS video up. So have a good one, everybody.